Hey there, and welcome to Flourish TV. My name is Stephanie, and this is where I bring you business with a little bit of mindset. I'm hoping that today will help a little bit as you are continuing to search for clarity and step into the things that you want to create. So, if you are watching this, chances are you're capable, you're committed, and you're ready to move forward, but you may also feel like your energy is kind of scattered. Not because you're unfocused, really, but because you're trying to hold on to too many things at once. I know that is me so often when I'm trying to do too many things at once. It just is difficult to move forward. This week on the podcast, I was sharing about how clarity has to come before consistency. So today I wanted to make that a little more practical because I feel like clarity isn't just a mindset shift. It needs a place for you to land. It's a place for you to move forward. So in this episode of Flourish TV, I'm going to walk you through a tool I use that really helps me put all of this into practice. It's the Faith and Flourish Trello board, and it's about creating a simple system, some structure, and follow through in your current season. Because I know that over time, it's we have all these different things. Our minds are scattered, and with the way the world is and all of the different information that's coming at us all of the time, we can feel so pulled into so many different directions. And I really know that having clarity, having a full focus aligned with what your calling is, what God is calling you to do, or the ministry that you're stepping into, or knowing that you have all of this information, you're ready to move forward, but you just need a little bit of systems or structure. This board should help you do that. And so I liked on Flourish TV, I love talking about mindset things and how we can move forward, learning how to find clarity. So I talk a lot about that on the podcast. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you didn't listen this week. Last week was about having clarity over pressure, and then this week is really talking about having that clarity that will bring that the true consistency that you want in your life and in your business and beyond. And so what I thought I would do is I will show you today a practical tool, because I think that I can talk a lot about all the things that we need to do, but to have something in place to help us move forward is a great way to do that, giving us a tool that will just help us focus, help us create that a little bit more. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is a copy of the Faith and Flourish Trello board that I have put together. Because what I've seen over and over again with faith-driven women is, we don't lack discipline, we don't lack desire, and we don't lack faith. Really, I think that sometimes, we have a little bit of surrender in areas like that where maybe we need to connect with God a little bit more and surrender some of the outcome to Him or some of the other things. But usually it's not that lack of faith or the excitement or the discipline, like I said, or even the desire of what we want to grow. But sometimes that clear structure combined with that clarity can really make a difference. When we have a focus on what really matters for us right now, this season, in this week, it really makes a difference. Because when everything feels important, consistency becomes exhausting, right? You're constantly reacting instead of leading with your time with intention. So that's why I think systems matter. It's to support it, not to take place of different things, but just to give you that support so that you can move forward in the things that you want to create. So I created this Faith and Flourish Trello board because it allows you to give you a place for where faith can come first. Your priorities could become visible, and action can feel grounded and not pressured. So this board isn't about filling every hour of your day. It's about helping you move from scattered effort to focused action without losing that peace, with having that sense of like, oh, I have a focus, I have that clarity, and now I can step into consistency. So I'm going to show you this board and we'll take a look at it. Now, there are lots of different things that are on this board, but I'm going to focus on a few of the different areas inside this board for today, which matches our purpose. And we've got here in the board, I usually have, in all my boards, I'll have like a welcome, and it will walk you through the whole board as well. But there's a few different things that you can do to have that alignment, not with tasks, but creating those daily anchors. You want to have just the right questions. What does faith-led focus look like for this week? Anchor your days, your morning time, your morning quiet time. you have maybe a daily affirmation, or make it simple and just do a weekly affirmation, something that you're focusing on for the week. Maybe writing down some type of gratitude and some end of day reflection. These are not to, again, to give you a bunch of things to do, but really to give you those different anchors. And I talk a little bit about that in here, about creating those just little quiet times, those little checklists, those things that you can have there to help you. So, this even gives you an idea of a quick, quiet time that you can have, really to get your day focused. Someone asked me yesterday, what are some of the things that you do in your routine? Like, what is your routine that you do? And so I was like, well, I do this and this and this first. I kind of laid it out because I've kind of established that for those anchors for myself. And that helps me have that clarity and helps me have that focus really on God, and making sure I'm inviting Him into my day and doing that, and then having ways to check in throughout the day. This section, Nourish the Body, I am, as a wellness coach as well, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my body on the inside as well. And so this whole section will help you with that. But this next one, this weekly flow, I talk a lot about having reflection, talking about taking a look at what has happened before and preparing for what's coming ahead. And so you can take this like Sunday reset, and it gives you some different structure of maybe, praying for what's coming for this week. Maybe review what happened last week. Maybe look at the top 3 priorities for maybe your faith, your family, your business, or whatever those main focus areas that you have. Maybe then choose your affirmation for the week, or a scripture for the week, or something. And then, I give you a plan, one act of self-care to protect your health. So those are some different ideas that you can walk through a reset, and it gives you a midweek reset, having a weekly win you can look for, a faith checkpoint. How are you doing? Are you connected with God? Are you bringing Him into your day? So that weekly flow will help you. And here in the stuck to started, this will give you some different ways to help you maybe focus in and have a little bit more clarity of what you're focusing on. Looking at some different scripture, having a 5-minute reset, maybe doing a few things to pause through your day to help you focus, and align back to what it is that God is calling you to do. The brain dump, I've talked a ton about this, the brain dump, and this is a great place for you to write down all those things that are on your mind, or to use that checklist, do whatever you need to do to get all of that out of your mind so that you can focus on what's most important. That clarity can be really real to you. And then there's another section here, and then I have resources throughout this as well. And so this is actually a brain dump and priorities workbook that's inside this Trello board that will help you do that as well. So it will walk you through dumping all that stuff out of your mind and helping you put them into priorities, and so that you can have a better, clear focus for what you want to create. And so then your consistency, how you're showing up every day, will have that focus. It won't feel so rushed. It won't feel so pressured because you're aligned with everything together. And then here, this is another section, like if you know that you want to grow, but you're just a little bit stuck of where exactly it is that you should be focusing on. This section will really help you work on understanding your vision of what you want to see in your business, or in your life, or maybe in a ministry you want to start, or whatever that next thing is. This can maybe give a section where you can kind of work through that a little bit, going some different prompts and different things where you can think about the big things that you want to do, and then some foundation as well. And so in here, there's also a resource that gives you like a vision board so that you can kind of look at the whole picture. I don't know about you, but if you have a vision board, or you have something that you can kind of focus on, it helps you really clarify what those main things are. And then when you have that in vision, when you have that clear in front of your mind, then it gets you excited about sharing the things that you want to share, and so much more. I'm excited about being able to do that.